Check one, check one. Hey, hey, hey. Gosh, got this camera just kind of out of whack and just got to kind of move things around. Hi. How you doing? Gonna check the audio here, make sure that YouTube's is gonna crap out on us. Yep, got good audio. Got good audio. That's good. We've got quite a few things to look at this morning. Kind of a weird morning. But that's okay. I like getting synced in here. Got a busy day of meetings ahead, so I definitely want to get feedback loop in before all of that madness starts. So I'm just going to check out Discord and make sure that ye old couchbot has fired. Really hope you folks are doing well this morning. It's a blessed day here in New Pragmatic Landia. Yeah, that doesn't work as a Landia. New Pragmaticburg. Maybe that works. Let's check out the announcements channel. Here's my goofy face from yesterday. Come on, Couchbot. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Discord channel, be sure to do that and recognize that now there is a dedicated announcements channel that just is for curriculum and video updates. We push so much stuff out that it was kind of crowding out any sort of conversation that was happening around the work that people are doing and the tests and things that people are trying to run. So I wanted to definitely make sure that we have a partitioned spot for that. And looks like Bryn is knee deep in GitHub and command line, so I know she's living the good life. Just waiting on. Oh, there we are. Couchbot has officially fired, so that means we can leave the station. So let's go ahead and do that. Greetings, one and all. Chris Courtney here, New Pragmatic. It's time for the feedback loop. So good to have you along. We've got a trio, a medley, if you will, of students in the mix this morning. Maddie is back, Abby's back, and Abraham has some questions as well. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that because I want to make sure that we're leaving enough time to give everybody their due. So right away, we're going to start with Maddie's selected works. This is proper context here. Maddie has a portfolio, and portfolios get you the interview. You need a presentation to go into that interview with. Now, sometimes you'll use it, sometimes you won't. But anytime you're presenting to a group of people, you definitely want to have a presentation ready to go rather than just kind of scrolling individually through a website. So what we're looking at here is Maddie's work. So we've seen this yesterday. Yesterday we were looking at this Gerber subscription box launch, and she hadn't really worked on these other two yet. So let's just see what we've got here with Gerber. This is really nice. This is stuff, by the way, and this is directly from her website. So if you were to go to Maddie's website, she's picked up assets from her website. When I say you have to build a presentation, I don't mean you have to build everything from scratch. It's definitely going to be utilizing things that you might also have on your website. So this is just some visuals from the site. So she's using that to set up what this is. It's helpful to show people, hey, here's what I'm going to be talking to you about. So here she's explaining what the problem was, what the goals were. Now key results, she's really still got to lay in those data points, but we'll talk about that. Abby, Maddie. I do think that achieve X landing page visits, new line in the first 30 days, like this first 30 breaking and then days. Same thing here, first 60 and then days. I would break that probably after N, just to get that on its own line, so that the 30 days piece is together. And then it's like, this is kind of interesting because I don't want 30 days to be separated, and I don't want first and 30 to be separated, and I don't want to end the line on a the or an N. So that's why I'm getting all the way back to visits and enrollment. Because if you look down here, like this ends at enrollment, and I'm completely fine with it because by X% is on its own line. And that's our blob note from yesterday. Here is the outline of like who was on the team, context. I would consider like maybe coming in and adding a little darker shadow here, or maybe even a glow, something to separate these two out. These are quotes from individuals. Basically, you're pulling out parts of research. So here's some sketches, solution ideation. So here's the wireframes, and we kind of talked about. I left some notes here about these yesterday. We can come back and talk about that further, but I think that's a lot of text to have on screen. But maybe you're going to be glossing over that. I might even just simplify this down if that's the case. But this is just a bit much right now. I'm worried people are going to try to read it. I don't want them to try to read that. I either want to get that bigger or I want to boil that down. Refining the flow to screen, and these are nice. I am curious. There's got to be a plugin here that you're using in Figma to make those work. So let's go take a look at that real fast. Where did ye old Figma go? So let's go full screen. It's like I didn't open up your file. Let's go back over here to Maddie's. Let's take a look at the working file. So there's a couple of different ways you can add GIFs to presentations, or GIFs to Figma. It's not just for presentations. I just wanted to look and see if you're using like Anima or some other tool, and we typically will be able to tell just by clicking here. Typically there's a fix these recordings, higher quality, decided to split them up, pause GIFs in Figma. I don't know necessarily how to pause the GIF. It looks like you've just filled it with a GIF. Oh, GIFs in Figma prototypes. Well, look at that. Okay. Super cool. All right. Let's go on back to ye old presentation. So, additional considerations, copy around pricing, form error. Copy around pricing. Additional considerations, update pricing copy. I think copy around pricing, it's just a strange phrase. It's not that you said anything incorrect there. It's just an odd phrase. Form error states and account management, we were used to seeing those words together. Copy around pricing, I think maybe just pricing copy update or something. So reflections, things that worked well and things that didn't. So here the question I have there is like, okay, well, what worked well? Rapid wireframing, primary research, or continuing Q&A, and then also what didn't. I think I might break these up into things that worked well, rapid prototyping, and then on the next slide, and things that didn't, primary research and result continuing Q&A, just so that it's like gives you a natural progression. Because right now I'm really relying on you to sort these out, and I think that with an additional slide you can do that really easily. Cisco Commerce Workspace versioning. So here's the process file. Like there's a lot of stuff to see here. So we're comparing proposal versions. How can we drive feature usage and encourage personal experimentation? Achieve X, proposal by, decrease time. So number of people on the project. I like the consistency here. Um, so this we're going to redesign a system that took 12 years to build, and this is not an uncommon thing. A lot of things are built over time, and then once you finish building it, you're like, hey, we need to stop and really rethink this. Now, when something takes 12 years to build, it's typically a situation where it probably stopped and they thought they were done with it for a while, and then more crap got bolted onto the side of it. So that's a considerable size project. And I really like that you mentioned that, because it tells me like what you were up against. Like, the likelihood of success is already against you if you're rebuilding a system that's been basically having things bolted onto it for 12 years. Like, wow. Okay, so you're going to learn a lot from that. All right? Today's version of versioning. So, system overview, the versioning model. So, you're kind of walking us through the process. A likely scenario. So, you've got scenarios here, which is good. I would blur that out a bit more, because, like, this is blurred, that's blurred, but this really isn't. This is probably an issue with just layering. So here we are. I'm gonna guess you're walking them through this. I can't read it right now. So solution space, opportunity areas. So you've got the sketch. Prototype goes here. Okay, that's fine. What's next? Planning for user testing questions. So there's some stuff here at the back side of this. It's pretty clear that, like, this probably is, like, when we looked at Gerber, it didn't wrap up like this. So we want to have I have a funny feeling this is not complete all the way through. There were some spots where, maybe this can be teased out further so that we can get a view on what's happening here. Some editing on, like, the blurs there, but it's not there. Numbers, are we zooming in on this at all? So I've got some questions, but I definitely want to definitely want to see where your next iteration of this lands. And I really do like the inclusion of the gifts. But again, here, let's get this in 2 slides. Let's go over here to, well, where did my Figma go? My Figma's right here. Let's go here to Abby. And Abby, I'm going to put this in prototype mode mainly because I want to start digging around here. Looks like you've got some questions in here. I did not see these earlier. But let's poke around here in the presentation mode and see how far we can get with it. So this is always got to go through and hide the footer. Okay, so we've got the sign up flow, and then we've got those and sign up. And this is, by the way, last time we were getting hung up on areas like this. These are flying by now, so I think that's really great. So I can come through here on the subscription plan, and like once I select the subscription plan, it's like I can move around inside of there. I should be okay, so I can hit select, and that brings me all the way through. Here I'm going to quick add. So I'm not completely sure what. Okay, so I'm here now, and I can say add to order, and this is updating. If I come up here, I can click. That brings me to a cart. I do think that I would, when you get to that prototype mode, you're definitely going to have these filled in. I'm interested to see, okay, edit. What is the edit function? Okay, so edit doesn't really go anywhere right now. So let's go back here. All right, so we're meals of the week. I'm going to click on this. So I'm going to click customize. Okay, so I've got an overlay here. I can add ingredients. I can close it. I'm not sure. So let's go back to customize. If I add ingredients, so I've added these proteins, like where does that show? Let's back this up because I think I'm missing. Maybe I'm missing the original state. Okay, so here we are. I'm looking at it. One thing to watch out for is long words here. The size of this text, I'm worried about if there's a particularly oddly named dish. I'm worried about that getting out of hand. But if I hit customize and I add an ingredient, I'm looking for some sort of update to say that, oh, I've added an ingredient. And I get the nutrition back, but I don't really see where that updated. So there's like a missing piece. If I go through and customize and I add something, the interesting thing is if I close it, it's like I'm not saving that update. If I click here, I should have some sort of button down here that says save. So I can exit it here. So there's just something a little off there. If I go here to the question, I get chat assistant, and that's kind of crazy. Cool. It's also, it'll lock you into that spot because there's no way to like get out of it. So something to think about there. Let's go to menu. Let's go to account. This week's menu. Okay. And here we are on the sandwich again. I'm going to add to order. I'm going to get up here to the cart. I'm going to say sure. Now, like we know edit doesn't go anywhere, so that's something to think about. I'm going to hit order. So here's delivery. I'm going to say yeah, sure, morning. Address. Okay. Billing. Billing's interesting. Well, you didn't really fall into that trap, so let's just stay with what you got. This is really confined. I think that you could do more here to take advantage of the space, but I understand this is a wireframe. This is the stuff that's going to be on the screen. I do think that like seeing where it is being delivered to and how it is being paid is important. So those are pieces of the puzzle that I think are missing from this screen. This is the confirmation screen. This is like I'm going to confirm the order. I should see the information that I entered as far as delivery and billing are concerned. If I say cancel the order has been confirmed. So that goes through and it's like I completed the order. So that's something to take into account. And here my home page is my home page. I have not signed out, so I'm going to view the details. Something's happening there. So there's a couple of spots where, yeah, okay, so details is like literally like this. I bet that's just an errant prototype link. But details is definitely like hanging there. So there's a few spots where I definitely see things that we should be trying to fix. Let's go back up here to logo. So if I pick 7 meals per week, it doesn't really take me anywhere. Okay, so it took me back to the top. I'm just curious if I do this to another one. Like I've selected my meals. There's no like next step right now. So that's something to consider down here. I do appreciate the fact that you've got these and they're interactive, but right now it's like they're stuck in a loop. Let's go to menu, sign up. Okay, so here's my plans. If I say 5 meals per week and okay, so if I say 3 and I select, that's fine. And I say, hey, quick add that adds that to it. And now I've got these meals in here. If I want to remove a meal, I'm not really sure if that's removing a meal or not, because also, like, remove, this is a pretty big X to have on a remove function. This is a destructive task, and I would probably just have this as you know, there's a couple of things. One, if I wanted to change the quantity, and I can't really see if I hit edit, does that allow me to change the quantity? But that's probably where I would want to consider having a remove, or I would put that in edit, and edit changes it to 0. But remove, especially it's like called out in a bold, like this is black on the screen. It's like I'm telling you that you want, like you want to do one of two things. Either you want to order, or you want to cancel all these meals. And I think you're calling way too much attention to canceling the meals. Okay? So some work to do there. But overall, I mean, you've gotten way farther than where we were just a few days ago. All right, so let's go check out Abraham. Abraham, you've got this device details list. I'm not sure what else is going to be. I've got devices, and I'm in device lookup. I'm guessing there's something else going into this dropdown. Back to list. I must be looking at a list of devices that are under this device lookup. So I've got a couple of different ways. I've got deployments, I got testing, I got properties, I got details. Same thing here. I would say in either case, the device details, I think this could be a 2-column thing where status and properties are to one side and deployment and data are to another. And I say that because deployment and data can be infinitely long. Okay? I don't want to sit there and say, oh, status and property should somehow be mixed with these. I actually want to give these more room. So I would be considering pulling these up here so that device details, I might even like align left device details and device status and device properties. So those are off to one side, and then deployment and data, they can just run as long as they want. But right now in each case, they are running as long as they want at the absolute bottom, and I'm going to have to scroll to see those updates. I would like to see them higher up. But yeah, that would be the big switch that I would look at making there, is looking at this in 2 columns. Being that some of this information is going to be very it's just like it's never going to be longer than what you're showing here as far as properties. There's not likely to be 20 more properties, but there could be 20 more deploys, and that's just going to make this page longer. So get that space back, bring it up, and you're good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for today's edition of the Feedback Loop. It is so good to have you joining along. I really, really enjoy working with designers of all skill levels. You know, I work with people that are brand new designers, and I work with designers that have been in the field for a number of years. So if you're looking for design mentorship, be sure to knock on that door, chris@newpragmatic.com. And if you're wondering, hey, what do other people think? Listen to my crew right here. I'm Chris Courtney for New Pragmatic. Thanks for watching.